Hi y'all, welcome in, welcome in. While y'all are getting seated and everybody's sitting down, I want to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Alyssa. Today we will be learning about how to lead even when you're not in charge as it pertains to being a cashier within a small owned grocery store. So most of the people here, because this is for Jenny to Betty's. So I have some handout sheets. Some of y'all got some already. If not, here they are. Let me pass them out for y'all. But each one is going to have just a few different notes on it. So like it's going to start with your name, and as we go throughout this PowerPoint, there are going to be some fill in the blanks so you can just keep up with what I am saying, and so you just have an idea of what's being talked about. And just so you have something to take home with you so that you are able to look back and kind of see what we touched on and what you learned today. So, to start off, I want to talk about how leadership is more than just a title. Leadership is for everyone. You don't have to have that title of manager or the title of being the owner of the store to be able to have an influence in what you are doing. It's not about your influence. It's not about your position or where you're standing, because we all have the title of cashier, and sometimes with that title, it feels like we can't do something with it, when in reality, we really can. Um, we can still be leaders in different ways, and this presentation, we're just going to go through and talk about different ways we're able to be leaders, even as just mundane cashiers. That's what it feels like. So, a really good ways to be a leader are to first take initiative. It is to step up and say yes, even when the job might not be the most fun, but always taking the opportunity to help those managers, or to help another coworker, or to help a customer. Another thing that is really good is to offer great customer service. Um, so like when the customer comes up and asks you questions, and or bothers you while you're working on a task, instead of acting bothered or instead of acting like you don't want to answer that question, instead put them first, make them feel like they're the most important person in that moment, and offer the best customer service you can give. The next thing is to welcome and help new employees feel like they are walking into a new family instead of feeling like they're walking into like something that they feel ostracized from, or like that people don't want to be around them. They're in a new environment, and we've all been new into this new environment. We all started working here. So help them feel welcomed within the new environment that they're stepping into. We know what it's like to feel a little scared that we're walking into an environment we don't know. So just help them feel welcome and feel like they have a spot here at Betty's. Another thing to do is to help customers solve their issues. It's really easy and really more something we sometimes do is like just to kind of cast them aside when they ask us a question, or roll our eyes and not actually help them, or just kind of like point to where they are looking for, and instead of just kind of pointing or rolling our eyes or just kind of putting them on the back burner, instead help them solve the issue that they're having in that moment. The next thing is to show up on time and always have a positive attitude. Try to keep that positivity, because we all know what it's like when another coworker comes in and has that negative attitude, has a negative like outlook that day. It kind of just brings on the entire day, and nobody really wants to work beside you. So try to come in and be positive, and also show up on time, because it really helps the people that you are working with or that you're coming in to relieve. That when you show up on time and you show up and come and do your job and come and step up and do that moment into that moment, it helps them be able to go ahead and take a step back. Maybe that's going on break, or maybe that's just taking a step back from standing at the register all day. Just come in and be positive and just be ready to work and show up on time when you can. And always do the right thing even when no one is watching, because it is easy to not do the right thing, because what's the point if nobody else can see this do it? But there is such a point to doing the right thing. And because even when it feels like nobody is watching or nobody sees it, somebody's watching it. On your piece of paper, it has different things you can check off. So like the things that you feel like you are really excellent at, and so then the things that you don't check off, maybe you can work on. And the question says on there is, what would you like to grow the most in? So even if it's one that you feel like you're doing great at, but you want to grow more in, just write that down so that you have that as a way to remember of what you can work on. The next thing that we can do is we're going to learn to lead with our heart, soul, mind, and strength. And I got this information from a book by Jenny Catron, I think that's how you say her last name, called The Dimensions of Extraordinary Leadership, the Four Dimensions of Extraordinary Leadership. Leadership, the power of leading from your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So, we're going to start off with learning how to lead with our heart. So, leading from your heart is treating people as if they are customers and treating your customers as if they are people and not transactions. And making them feel seen and making them feel like they're not just kind of getting in the way. Another thing is to build relationships with those regular customers that you see on a regular basis, because it's kind of fun to have that little play relationship or like getting excited to see them when they walk in. It's really fun. I know that I've built relationships with certain regulars, and I know some other people have, and it's just fun to have that fun little bickering that like it's just between y'all two or just between you and a group of people. So building that really good relationship with customers and even with the coworkers that are around you, build that relationship so that when you come into work, you're not dragging your feet, but instead you're excited to see what the new day holds because you're getting to work with somebody that you've actually built that really good relationship with. And that also is like in doing that, you're helping your coworkers feel like they're coming in to be a part of something, helping them feel like they are coming to do something great and helping them feel welcomed. And then another one is to make you feel like coworkers feel like they're welcome. So feel like they're part of something. Kind of said that beforehand, but help them feel like they are seen and that they are not walking into something that they're not involved in, but instead they're getting to be involved and make it feel like they're getting involved in something great, even if it is just being a cashier. On the paper, it says circle one of these you will intentionally talk to and connect with today, this week. So whether that be with one of our regular customers or with one of your coworkers, maybe it's your manager, one of the managers at our job, or maybe we have a new employee because we're in that season right now where we are hiring new employees. So if we have one this week, that's the one you can do, is help the new employee feel like they are welcomed. But if we don't have one, let's choose one of the other three. The next thing is leading with our soul. So to lead with our soul, we need to make sure that we're maintaining integrity in all the situations that we are put in every situation that we find ourselves faced with while working at Betty's. The next thing would be to know your why behind what we are doing. It's really easy to just get caught up in doing it and kind of getting put on autopilot. But when you know the why behind why we're doing what we're doing, you have that much more passion, that much more oomph to want to do it to the absolute best of your ability. The next thing is to just take pride in what you do. Take take initiative on something, and when you take that initiative, do it to the best of your ability. Take pride in when you do it. So maybe not like, oh, I did that, but like be proud of what you do and do it with confidence. And the last thing is do your best even in the mundane tasks. Do your best in the things that you just don't want to do and nobody else wants to do, like cleaning the toilets. Nobody wants to do that. That's kind of gross. But when you do it to the best of your ability and to the best of like what you can possibly do and you take pride in it, you might actually repercussions to hear what people said. I remember one time I had cleaned the bathrooms and I heard a lady walking by. She wasn't talking to me, she was talking to one of her friends. But they're like, the bathrooms are really clean. Like, I'm kind of shocked by that. Because it's such a small grocery store, so some people don't feel like bathrooms would be clean because you kind of have that low expectation. So just hearing that and hearing that the bathrooms being clean was something that was so shocking and so surprising to her, kind of like made me feel like I did something right. So even in the mundane tasks, doing it to the best of your absolute best of your ability you can reap the repercussions of it. The next thing is to lead from your mind. Or hold on, let's go back one. So on your sheet it says, why does what you do matter? So why does working at Betty's, why does doing the different things matter to what your mission is at Betty's? Then the next one is to lead with your mind. So when you lead with your mind, you want to learn how to solve problems at the register with patience and problem solving skills. Um, Don't get impatient because it is easy to get impatient. Don't get impatient. Instead, take a deep breath and just work through it with just a way that you know that you can do it, because do it with a problem solver attitude. The next thing is to help customers and don't dismiss their issues, because like I said earlier, it's really easy to just be like, no. But when you help customers, it helps them feel seen, helps them feel like they're not bothering you. The next thing is to find a rhythm that helps you work in the most efficient ways. So find why you're doing, like, the way you can do things to the best of your ability, because the best of your ability and the way you do it may not be the same way that I do or the same way that somebody else does it. Instead, do it in the rhythm that you find and the best way that you can do it. And don't compare yourself to the way you're doing it compared to somebody else is doing it. The question on this one is said, what is one thing that you can do that will help you work better? So what is something that you can do to help yourself become a better worker, to become better at what you're doing, to love what you're doing? The next thing is leading with your strength. So the best way to do this is to take initiative when the opportunity arises. To step up when our managers or another coworker or something is like, hey, I need your help here. Can you come and do it? Step up, be like, hey, I can do it. And in doing that, not only does it build your character, not only does it build your character and your ability to do different things, it makes your managers be able to count on you and to call you out when they need something done. The next thing is to stay motivated even in the tough shifts, because we all have tough shifts. There are things that are going to come up, and there are going to be more difficult times to do things, especially in a slow season when we don't see very many customers. It's really hard to stay motivated because you're kind of just standing there doing nothing, but just stay motivated. When you see that customer, get excited. Another thing that we can do is do more than what is asked of us, and to help the store succeed. So we're asked to do these tiny itty bitty things, but what if we went one step further? What if we did more than what we were asked? How much more can we gain from that? What can the store gain from that? And how can it help the store succeed even more, And to go above and beyond what is asked of you. Because going above and beyond builds character, and it helps your manager see you in a greater light, that they might call on you or need you to, when they need help with something, you're the person they go to. So what is one way that you can go above and beyond any task that you do this week? It is important that we lead a positive work atmosphere, because nobody really wants to walk into work where people aren't having a place of teamwork or a place of really good respect of each other. Instead, that's a place we need to have. We need to make a workplace full of respect and of teamwork. We also need to try our hardest to keep the workspace free from drama and negativity. I know it's hard because most of y'all are in high school or in your teenage years of trying to learn who you are. So it's really easy to bring that high school negativity. It's really easy to bring the teenage drama into the workplace. But when we don't do that, when we don't have drama, when we don't have yelling fits like we've had before in the past, we're able to build and have that much greater of a day, and just kind of having a more of a better work atmosphere. Another thing you can do is be someone who promotes a supportive environment. So when you see somebody do something small, get excited for them. Be like, oh, look at you. Like, thank you so much for doing that. Like, that was amazing that you did that. Instead of getting upset, like, I wanted to do that. Instead, create a very supportive environment around you. So what is one way that you can contribute to a positive work atmosphere this week, and what can you carry on? How can you help other people? What is just that one way? The next thing that we want to be able to do is to lead with exceptional care for the customers. Make the customers feel like they're valued and to feel like they are seen. Also, be the best 5 minutes of good in someone's day, because you don't know what that person's day looks like. You don't know if they've had a hard day previous to coming in there, or you don't know if they've had a wonderful day. So instead of either being the person who continues on that bad day or brings down that good day that they've had so far, be the good. Be the good that they see in those short time that they're at, that he's making an impact that you can make. Because I'm sure you can think of one time or one moment when you just kind of walked in or somebody said something to you or just it impacted you in a way you didn't think it would. So be that impact for somebody else. The next thing we can do is treat the customer as an individual that matters instead of treating them as a transaction. Treat customers like they are who they are, that they are special people, that they are the only version of them. Treat them as if they are amazing people that they are, and make them feel like they matter, because when you do that, it makes people want to come back. It also builds that really cool and fun relationship that you can have with them. You can make them smile like you can in these pictures. The next thing is, so on here it says, so yes, okay, so the next one is the lead for the future. So yes, I know you're a cashier right now working at a small grocery store called Betty's, and it might seem like, what is this going to do to help me in my life later? Like, how is working at a grocery store going to help me become any better than who, like, in the future? But it can, because leadership starts right now. The leadership habits that you are creating start now when you're in high school, start now at your first job, start now. So become the best leader that you can in the small area. Be a leader without the title, so that when you have that title, you'll naturally be able to lead. And when you lead with integrity, lead with confidence and authenticity, and all those are built when no one is watching. And that's why you need to learn right now where you're at is how to lead for the future. Lead for the future version of the people who are going to be underneath you, because this is the place where you can do it. So who is one person that you look up to as a leader, and what is it about that person? What is it about their leadership style that makes you look up to them? And then make it your own. Embody something that they do and make it and feed it into your life. The next thing you want to do is, the most important, is to lead yourself well, because if you aren't leading yourself well, you're never going to be able to lead somebody else well. Self-leadership is the foundation of all leadership. You can't lead others well if you aren't leading yourself with absolute excellence. And set the standard for the type of leader that you want to be, because if you set the standard for yourself, other people might see that standard that you have set and want to match it, or like the idea of what you're doing. You're like, hey, I can lead like that. So when you lead yourself with excellence and with this strong conviction, people see that and they want to start embodying that in their own way. So, what is one way that you will lead yourself this week? What is one way that you will become a better leader, not only for yourself, but become a better leader for yourself? And some final thoughts in the conclusion of this is, exceptional leadership is not about where you're going or what you're getting to. Because we always hear the saying is the grass is greener on the other side. In reality, grass is greener where you water it. So water where you're at right now. Plant your feet where you're at and grow from where you're at. It doesn't mean you're going to stay there forever, but when you water and you grow yourself in a spot where it doesn't seem like it has significance, when you get to the spot of significance, it's only that much greater. Also, be a good leader when no one is watching. So when everyone is watching, you naturally lead with that integrity, with that confidence, and with that authenticity. Because when you choose to be an exceptional leader, no matter your title, you only become that much greater of a leader when you have the title. And it's so vastly important to be able to just be a great leader. If you want to make a lasting impact, lead from your heart, from your soul, from your mind, and from your strength. Don't lead from the difficult things that you've seen in your past. Don't lead from the hardships. Lead to not only better yourself, but also better the people around you. When you see the values and disciplines that you learn here now as a cashier will shape you as a leader when you become one in the future. So why not start now when just very little eyeballs are on you and very little people are watching you, before you get to the place where everybody's watching you, or when you have little people who are watching you. Do lead the way you are leading now. So that's why it's so important to not only lead, but that's why it's not only important to lead from your heart, mind, and strength, soul, is so that you can lead better when you become in that bigger position. So today we've learned that leading is more than just a title. It doesn't have to do with having that manager title or the owner title. It's leading as a title that you're wearing right now with your name. Wear your name and be that leader of your name. Want to learn to lead with our heart, with our soul, with our mind, and with our strength. And it is so important that we learn to lead ourselves well, and to lead exceptional with customer care and help the customers feel like they're loved and welcomed. So thank you so much. Are there any questions or any thoughts that y'all might have? And if so, y'all can write them down at the bottom of your page. You don't have very much room, but if you want to write them down and just bring them up to me, consider we work together, we can all get together and we can talk about it and we can figure out the answers to some of the things. What is something that has impacted you that you didn't think really would impact you the way that it did? And what is one way you're going to become a greater and better leader than you were before you walked in this room? Thank you so much. I hope you'll have a fantastic day and I hope you have fun the next time you have to work. Thank you.